Welcome. I know it's Monday night and I know it's a little later than I said I would start. I'm running a little behind today. It's been a tough day. Last night we didn't really get much sleep with the baby came in out of his swaddle. And I just got my workout in and I literally just finished dinner. So we are running super behind tonight. But I did want to hop on. I wanted to talk about nutrition and portion control mainly. So I figured I will hop on, talk about it. We'll see how that goes. If you have any questions, shoot me a message or shoot me a comment or a direct message. Any of those will work. So, portion control. Why is it so important? Well, first of all, I know everyone thinks of portion control as something that's important when you're trying to lose weight. And obviously that is definitely one thing that is important if you're trying to lose weight, to do some portion controlling. But it's also important from a maintaining your weight perspective. So it's not really something I think everyone should think of like, oh, it's only if you're trying to lose weight. That's not necessarily true. So if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to maintain your weight, because right now everything is like supersized, right? You can supersize everything. If you go to a restaurant, which none of us are going to right now, but if you do go to a restaurant or when you go to a restaurant, the portions are always like super huge. A lot of the times people are leaving with extra food or they're throwing out extra food. So I think especially in this country, it's just we supersize everything. So I think our mindset and like what we think is the right portions is probably not the right portion size. So I think it's more about learning the proper portion control sizing so that you know what you're taking in and what you should be controlling. So obviously, from a weight loss or a maintaining your weight so that you don't continuously gain weight, that's why portion control is important. Another thing is it actually helps you save money because you're eating less, most likely, because a lot of us overeat and don't understand the full portions that we should be eating. So you're eating more than what you should be. And therefore, you would be eating less if you're taking a look at portion control. Saves you money. It'll teach you to actually look at the labels of some of your food, which is interesting. A lot of the times I think we don't really look at what's in our food. So if you're kind of looking at the label from a serving size perspective, you'll end up looking at everything else that's in your food. So reading labels. So it'll kind of get you in the habit of reading labels. But I will also caution you to say, just because a serving size is XYZ or whatever, it says, oh, a serving size is this, that doesn't necessarily mean that is the proper portion for you from a portion control perspective. So don't confuse serving size with portion control sizing. So just a little nuance there. Portion control will also help balance out your blood sugar. It's kind of like a known thing, so that's a benefit. It also enhances your digestion, so that your bigger portions cause you to have discomfort and cause you to have indigestion. So your digestive system will function more efficiently if you are eating a little bit more towards like a portion control type of nutritional guide or meal planning. So how can you do better at portion control? So first thing that you could do, and again, I talked about, I think a couple weeks ago, I talked about nutrition in general, and I will continue to talk about that. In this portion of my chat, I guess I just want to talk about portion control. So not necessarily, it's better to kind of make some changes in your eating habits, but I'm not going to address that here per se. So let's just say whatever you currently are eating. If you order a pizza on a Friday night and normally you have 4 slices, let's start by cutting that down to maybe 2 slices of pizza, right? So start with what you're already eating right now, and just start thinking about portions and how much you're eating, and taking some efforts to cut that down, say from, like I said, 4 slices to 2 slices or 2 slices to 1 slice, something like that. That's kind of a good first step there, just to cut down what you normally are eating. If you eat slower, you will eat less because it'll give your body time to function or to get to your brain to say, hey, you're full, so you don't need to continue eating. I don't know, sometimes people continue to eat for other reasons, but if you're eating slower, it'll register in your brain that you are full at some point, and then you you don't need to finish whatever portion that you had. If you take smaller bites, that also helps. So that's another tip from a portion control perspective. If you buy or make some kind of like portion control plates or containers and start using them from a measuring perspective, I think that'll also help. So, so think about something like that. Measuring your food, weighing your food. I have one of those little food scales. I always kind of pop something on a food scale if you're looking for, to weigh something. So for example, I think like meat is like, a 3 to 4 ounces. I forget exactly, but if you weigh it, you know what your portion is right there, and how much you should be eating is a whole other discussion. But for now, let's just talk about portions and being aware of what you're eating and the portions that you're eating and trying to cut back. Another thing, if you avoid family style serving. So not only from a restaurant perspective, I know a lot of Italian restaurants will have like those big Italian feasts where you have huge platters on the table and you could just dig in at any time. Well, a lot of people serve their food like that at home. Like when you're eating dinner, you bring all of your stuff to the table so you can get seconds pretty easily. Try to avoid doing that. Maybe just get your plate where, in the kitchen, and then you're going to go and sit down at the table and have just what's on your plate to eat. And then this way, if you are going to get seconds, at least you have to get up to go get them, and you're consciously making the effort to say, hey, I'm going to go get seconds or thirds. But, at this point, I think it's just better not to have things on the table unless you want to put a big bowl of vegetables on the table. Eat all the vegetables you want, right? So think about that. Don't slap the whole pan of macaroni and cheese right in front of you at the table, because most likely it's just too easy to go back for seconds. So, so think about that. I will also say snacking at night, and I do this all the time too. So it's like, you really just want to try to cut your snacks back. So, and what I always do, and Nick thinks I'm crazy, let's say now I snack on fruit at night, which, fruit's better than Doritos. He has Doritos at night. So I'm like, I'll get you some Doritos, but I'm going to put it in a bowl. So I bring over this little bowl of Doritos, and he looks at me like I'm crazy. He's like, this little bowl of Doritos? I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine. Here, just eat the Doritos. So if he wants more, at least again, you have to get up to get them. So he actually appreciates it. So just think about things like that. Just being conscious about, again, your portion and how you're serving it to yourself. Don't bring the whole bag of Doritos over onto the couch at night, especially when you're snacking, because I see some comments that are funny. But yeah, if you do that, if you bring that bag over, that bag will be gone, especially if you're watching a movie, right? You just snack and snack and snack. So just think about doing that. It's just like a little tip. And Nick appreciates it. So, I think it's just a good thing to do. The other thing is when you're out to dinner, and again, I know we're all not going out to dinner right now, but consider sharing a meal, because the restaurants, the portions when you order food out at a restaurant is pretty much double what you probably should be eating. So again, save yourself some money and maybe share a meal, split a meal at the restaurant. I think it's just something that's kind of easy to do. I know we're not going out right now, but just my 2 cents. The other thing I would say is choose foods that are high in fiber. Fiber fills you faster. So that's another tidbit, I guess. I think it helps again with eating slower and eating smaller bites. So these are just a few things that we do. I do think that portion control is important to consider and to think about when you are eating your meals. How often should you be eating your meals? I would say every 2 to 3 hours. And when you think of meals, like I said before, don't think of them as like full-blown meals. Think of them as snacks. You're just kind of snacking. You're snacking throughout the day. You have 5 to 6 snacks in a day every 2 to 3 hours while you're awake. I know some people are nurses, and if you work at 7 p to 7 a, you're awake at weird times. But I would just say if you're eating when you're awake every 2 to 3 hours and you're thinking of it as a snack, then I think that would be a positive thing. So that's my 2 cents on portion control. I am looking to actually have a nutrition group. So typically I do like fitness groups where we're focused on pressing play on a workout also eating healthy, and having that accountability within the group and that community and that support. So those are like the three pillars of like what I try to do to get everyone on this like healthy and fit kick, right? But I've been talking to a couple of other coaches, and there's a very big focus on nutrition. So we are putting together a group that is just going to focus on nutrition. So and if you choose to press play, I think that's a positive, but we really want the focus to be on eating clean, and how to eat clean and what you should be eating to be eating clean. So lots to come there. I'm super excited with how that group's going to turn out. So if you are interested in, you know, learning more about nutrition, learning more about what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, all those fun things, you know, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment, and I can hook you up here. We can get you involved in the nutrition group. I don't even know what it's called yet, but it's going to be cool. So that's all I've got. I'm going to hop on more frequently. I was doing Sunday mornings for like 20 minutes-ish. I think what I'm going to do now is to just get on more frequently throughout the week, and do quicker type of live calls. So if you have any topics in mind that you want me to talk about and research for you from a health and fitness perspective, let me know and I will do that. But yeah, other than that, happy Monday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.